Hello everyone, good morning. It's Mary Bush with Stampin' in the Sand coming at you once again from my craft room for another super quick and easy fun fold card that's a gift card holder. And yesterday we created a card, a fall card, using the same sketch as we're going to be following today. And as promised, I'm back to show you how to turn it into a gift card holder using the same sketch. And actually this sketch was my inspiration for, or this card was my inspiration for yesterday's card. So, well, we just take a moment to see if anyone finds me live, since this is an impromptu pop in once again. We will just take care of a few little, what do I want to call it? Promotional items, I guess, and then we'll launch into making our card. So today's card is going to use the Berry Christmas Designer Series paper from the holiday catalog. And I am loving this paper, like I told you yesterday, because one side has some neutral patterns that you can use throughout the holiday season. These three patterns actually remind me of sweaters. So just imagine the cute projects you could make for winter with those, and then your neutral snowflakes and trees. And then on the other side, you have your more decorative patterns that are more playing along with the bear theme, and this really pretty fun Christmas present pattern. But you could also use this for your holiday season birthdays. You know, those poor people that have their birthdays right around Christmas, like my father. His birthday was the day after Christmas. That wasn't much fun for him. So these gifts here on this pattern would actually be fun for some of those folks that have birthdays around the holidays. So this pattern we're going to be using today. Then we have our cute little bears. And these images where the bears are wearing their sweaters and their scarves actually coordinate with the punch. So you can punch them right out of the DSP. And the other images are really easy to fussy cut as well. Then we have our really fun layout where the bears are looking up at the stars and walking across their icebergs, cuddling and sleeping with mom. We have another page here that has some really cute images that you can again fussy cut out. And then we have our landscape. This is one of my favorite patterns right here. I think this is super cute. And no matter how you cut it, you can come up with some really nice backgrounds for your cards. And then we have our bears walking through the snow with their scattering of presents on this sheet. And to go along with this paper, as you know, or maybe you don't if you're new to my page, I am currently running a very cute Christmas card class to go. You'll be creating 4 cards, 2 of each of the 4 designs, and 3 of them are fun folds. So you're not going to want to miss that, because those fun folds can be used with any Designer Series paper and stamp set bundle that you may have in your stash. You will get all of the pre-cut pieces for all of your 8 cards, all packaged together, your 8 envelopes. All the die cutting is done for you. All the paper cutting is done for you. You will need to cut your Designer Series paper. However, I will not be cutting that for you. And there's a couple of sentiments that I give you the strips, and then you can cut them with a coordinating die of your choice that will fit your sentiment of choice. You also will receive a full bolt of ribbon with your class and a full pack of rhinestone basic jewels. You'll also receive half a pack of this Designer Series paper, and it'll be cut down 6 by 12 so that it's easier for mailing, and it'll play right along with the tutorial and the cutting instructions for your cards. So you'll be able to utilize that 6 by 12 size very easily. The link for that, you need to sign up for my email address to receive notification of that class. We're not allowed to sell our classes that contain product directly through our social media accounts. But if you join my email list, you'll get notified of my classes and be able to access the link to register, or you can drop me a message down below and I can private message that link to you. What else do we have? My ordering special now through October 30th is a 4-card tutorial using the Merry and Bright suite. You will receive a full color step-by-step instructional tutorial emailed to your email inbox. And you'll be creating 4 cards using the Merry and Bright suite. I really had fun creating these projects. I really enjoyed it, and they're super cute, super fun. And again, you can use the sketches using any designer series paper and bundle that you may have. You don't have to limit it just to the Merry and Bright suite. So that tutorial is free with a $50 order through my online store, and the link is in the description of this video. Okay, so I see a few people have popped on, so let's get started creating our card. We'll see if I'm a little more organized than I was yesterday. Time will tell. So this card is a gift card holder, like I said. It opens up and you have your gift card pocket here. You can adorn this if you wish with another strip of DSP or slip another vanilla panel behind there so you have additional space for writing your messages. And it ties together nicely with a bow. And I'm not going to tie that right now because it'll take too much time for me to get it perfect. Okay, so I have all my bits and pieces here. I have a very vanilla envelope, and I have pre-stamped that with a different tree, and I didn't intend to do that. So we are going to put that aside for the moment, and I will get a fresh envelope when we get to that point in the class. I also have a Night of Navy card base. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've scored it at 1 3/4 and 5 1/2. And then I have punched my tab for inserting my gift card. And I've used the new hexagon punch that's in the online exclusives in my online store. So if you pop on over to the store, you can just go directly to the online exclusives, or you can just enter hexagon punch in the search bar. That's a lot. I'm gonna need another sip of coffee. So I just inserted that just a little bit into the punch and punched it out. So it makes a nice little finger hole for your gift card. Next, we have some more little bits and pieces. I'm gonna put this piece aside. We have our insert for our card, and that is cut 3 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I have used Very Vanilla. It's the coordinating color in the designer series paper. Next, I have a layer for the front of the card. This is in Real Red, and I lost my, oh, here we go. And this is cut 3 7/16 by 4 inches. Now, I'm gonna tell you the 16ths comes into play because when I did my scoring at the 1 1/2 and the 5 1/2, I didn't realize that I was gonna basically lose about a 1/16 of an inch to get that perfect 1/8 inch border going all the way around. So I probably would be better off scoring instead of at, what did I say? The 1 1/2, 1 3/4, to do it maybe a 1/16 inch shorter. If you don't care that you have an absolutely perfect 1/8 inch border around your red layer, it won't matter. But if you followed me for a while, you'll know I'm kind of anal and I need it to be absolutely perfect. So I did shave off that 1/16 of an inch from my layer. So that meant my designer series paper layer became 3 3/16 by 3 3/4, so that I could get that, once again, perfect border. Because, you know, Mary's all about having it perfect. Okay, so then for the inside here, for this layer, we have our cardstock piece, again in Real Red, 1 1/2 by 4 inches. And then this is supposed to say DSP, 1 1/4 by 4 inches for the DSP. And I'm going to change that right now because otherwise I'll mess myself up later. Okay, so that's our DSP. So what I did is I had a larger piece and I actually cut it off so that they will line up perfectly together and look symmetrical. So those are those pieces. Then I have a very vanilla stitched circle, and we used this yesterday in our card, the autumn card. If you didn't catch that live, you can catch the replay here on my page. Just scroll down to yesterday. This is out of the Stylish Shapes dies, and it is the second largest die. Then I have a die cut tree, and I'm going to show you how I stamped and die cut that. I just did the pre-stamping so I wouldn't have to bring in my machine and do all of that in front of you. I also have a die cut star and a die cut star layer. So those are our bits. And let's get assembling. So I'm going to put this insert aside for just a second, and we are going to adhere our flap to the inside, leaving enough room for a gift card. At least I hope I left enough room for a gift card. I would have used tear and tape, but I neglected to bring any tear and tape to the table. So this is going to be a little snug because I went a little too far over here. So we'll just pull that back a scotch. And that'll work. Close enough. Now, if I were you, I would use the tear and tape, but I didn't want to get up and go across the room to get my tear and tape. So that fits perfectly. So you see how that works. Okay. So there is the gift card holder. Then we just need to assemble our layers. So I'm just going to put my cardstock layer on the front, lining it up so we have that nice perfect border going around the outside. And that's if I can get it on straight from this position. Then we're going to take our DSP and we're going to adhere that to the front. Today I am just using my Stampin' Seal Plus on all of my layers. Let's see. That looks close enough. Then we'll get our other piece here. We'll adhere that. I'm going to have to stand up for this because I want this straight. Okay. So there's that. And then we're going to just do our other piece of DSP. Now you'll see on the sample card, I use 2 different patterns. So you can do that as well. You can just grab one of the other patterns from the paper pack and it'll coordinate just as well. But I thought for today, I'd try using the same pattern on both pieces. Okay, so next we're going to bring in our bits for the front. And what I did here for this is I brought in a scrap of Old Olive because there's Old Olive in the Designer Series paper. The other great thing about our Designer Series paper packs is on the packaging, it tells you all the coordinating colors so that you know which of our cardstock and ink colors are going to coordinate perfectly with your paper. That was one of my biggest attractions about Stampin' Up! All those years ago, was our coordination. Okay, so I stamped that in Night of Navy. And then from our Merriest Trees dies, you get all these different trees and the tag and all the elements to build your trees. And I used this little bitty tree here. And nope, that's not the die I used. Hold on a second. That's the wrong die. That's the die for something else. Here it is. Sorry. I pushed it aside. I used the medium tree here. And I die cut that. I just lined it up with my sentiment because it fits perfectly inside the tree. Ran it through my die cutting machine and then came up with this. So isn't that cute? It fits perfectly in the tree. It also fits in some of the larger trees. So like this tree here, you could also die cut it if you wanted more tree shape. It fits in there as well. So super cute, lots of ideas using that one. And then for my little stars here, I got a strip of crushed curry. And there's the 2 star dies, and I just had them. See, you think you're organized. Oh, I put them back on the package. So there's these 2 stars here. You get a whole bunch of different styles of stars in this die set. I use this solid star here and this more detailed star here. And I cut them from my crushed curry cardstock. But for this little detail guy, he's so tiny, and the little bits, I put a piece of our adhesive sheets on the back of the strip so that when I cut it out, it would have adhesive on the back, and then I wouldn't have to worry about trying to add glue and not have it ooze out all over the place. So there's that piece. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna assemble all of our bits, and best laid plans. I forgot something. I need dimensionals. Hold on. Hey, this is called stamping on the fly. How many times do you start creating a card and you realize that you need to get up because you don't have something you need across the room? This is like when I'm stamping by myself. Except now you guys get to watch me run around like an idiot. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my little tree and I'm gonna attach him to my circle. And then I am going to pick off the back of this tear and tape. Adhesive sheet. At least I hope I am. My gosh. Okay, so I got that off, and then I'm just going to layer it on top of my star here, and see how it just perfectly covers up that solid star. I thought that was super cute. And actually, I'm thinking now too, if you were using rhinestones instead of the sequins, you could put a rhinestone right in the middle of this star and it would look super cute. All right, now I need to attach my star, and I used a mini hexagon, but it would appear, a mini hexagon, a mini dimensional that are shaped like hexagons. But it appears I did not bring that to the table either. So we will just cut a little dimensional and do that. All right, so we're gonna have to attach this to the card front before adding the star. But before we do any of that, we need to stamp the inside. Now, when I was originally creating this card, I wanted a tree on the inside, and I wasn't sure how I could make this really large tree fit on this without making a giant mess. So I went to an old retired stamp set called In the Pines, and I just used this tree here, which is actually the filler for this tree. And I used that. But yesterday, when I was trying to prepare my bits for this class, I came up with an idea that I think is gonna work, but bear with me because it could be an epic fail, but we're gonna try it. So what I did is I took this very large tree stamp from the stamp set and I put it on my block, and then I took a piece of washi tape and I ran it just below this little tree top here. Because what's interesting about this stamp set is, and the dies, is that you can cut out all the different layers of this tree with the dies. And so if you don't want a really big tree, you can die cut the smaller trees. So like this really big tree die here, cuts out the whole entire stamped image. And then the one that I just had a minute ago, this one, goes down another layer. And then this little guy goes down even one more layer. So you can stack your layers, you can just stamp and then only die cut the size of the tree you want. It's really kind of cool. So because I only want this size, I had to figure out a way to downsize it. So we're gonna try this and we're gonna see if it works. And if it doesn't work, then I'll show you when it did work and you can play with it at home, or you can grab another tree and just give up. So what I did is I took the die and I die cut a Post-it note. And then I took my piece of DSP, my piece of cardstock that I want for the inside of my card. And the whole reason that I want the little one is because this is a small layer and you do want to leave some room to write your message or stamp another greeting. So you don't want the image to take up the whole entire layer. So I'm going to take my Post-it note and I'm going to layer it about where I'm going to want it to be on the layer for the inside of my card. And I'm going to put away Night of Navy because if I use that, I'll be very sorry. And then I'm going to take my tree and I am going to ink it up with my Old Olive. And I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to say a prayer and I'm going to huff on it. And I'm going to try very carefully to stamp it through my Post-it note. And I'm going to pray I didn't make a giant mess. And I'm going to tell you that if you do this at home, you really should have a Stampin' Pierce mat underneath you when you're stamping this. But I can't find mine. I thought I had it right here for class and it's not here. And I'm not sure this is working well, but you're going to get the idea, right? And it didn't work because this little thing here stood up. Let's see if we can fix this. But you get the idea, right? See, for some reason it didn't work. I need that Stampin' Pierce mat. And I don't see it. I had it. I swear I had it right here for class. I know you're saying move on, Mary, forget it. But, you know, I'm obsessed. I'll get a different one. I have two Stampin' Pierce mats. Let's see if we can get this to work because it does work. I just don't know why it didn't work then. I'm going to try this one more time. And I still don't think it's going to work. Well, it filled in a little better. I can touch it up with a marker. But anyways, just to prove that it does work, I did it yesterday and it's perfect. So it does work. It's just not working for me now because, you know, it's a live video. So of course it's going to fail. We're live. But it does work. See, this is exactly what I did yesterday. And it's perfect. So it's just not going to work for me live. So we're going to move on now. All right, so this is going to get inserted inside the card. So we're just going to put down a little bit of, oh, and this is cut to the wrong size too. Oh my gosh, Mary is epically failing today. Oh my gosh. That's because that was a sample. It wasn't supposed to be you know what? We're just going to put this one in here for now and I'll fix it later. We'll just pretend. We're going to pretend that's perfect. Like this one. Okay, so we're going to close it and we're going to move on. So then I've got some Real Red ribbon. It's from the Real Red and Garden Green combo pack. And you can find that in my online store as well under ribbon and trim, or just by Googling Real Red and Garden Green combo pack, or you can go to ribbon combo pack and see all of the different combo packs that we have available. And I'm just going to snip off some ribbon and hope I cut enough. And then we're going to tie a bow Oh, I've got plenty of ribbon here. Gonna tie our bow over here to the left. And did you ever notice that sometimes you have to tie your bows with your project upside down to get them straight? Well, sometimes that's what happens. So all I'm gonna do is fold the card a little bit and flip it and slide it over, and now it's where it should have been in the first place. Okay, so now we can put our layers on. So we have our tree, and I need to bring my sample back in so I can see what I did. All right, so now we have our tree, and we're gonna just float him right there in the middle, like that. Then we have our star with that haphazard little dimensional, and we're gonna put that on right there. And then to finish it off, I'm bringing in some sequins. And they're from our 23-24 annual catalog. And there's two different types. We have 2 packs. There's one that's the neutrals adhesive back sequins, and it has like your bronze and your copper and your matte silver. These have been out of stock for a while. They are due back in, so don't fear. But if you're only looking for the gold, like I'm using today, you can still get the pastel adhesive back sequins. Those are in the annual catalog, and they have the gold sequins in them as well. So you have 2 options for gold sequins. And then I am going to just add a few to the card, and we will be done. So I'm just going to put one there, and there's 2 different sizes. So you've got the big ones and you've got little ones. Put that one there. And then I think this little guy can go right there. So there you go. A quick and easy gift card holder for you, and you can easily create this with any designer series paper you have and any stamp set / bundle you have. But if you want to create this card exactly as we did today, you're going to need that Berry Christmas designer series paper, and you will need your Merriest Trees stamp set and die bundle. And as soon as I get off of the video and clean up all my mess, I will type up a PDF like I did yesterday with all the cut sizes and the links to all the products that I used in the project for you. And I will share that. But if you want to get this DSP without having to purchase the whole entire package, consider joining my class. And then you will be able to create all of these projects as well as have the designer series paper that you will need for this project. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the card. Sorry about the mess up with my Post-it note idea, but I did prove to you it does work, just not when you're live. All right, guys, have a great day. It's a bright, sunshiny day here in South Carolina, and I'm going to clean up my mess. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below, or send me a private message, or email me, or call me, or text me, or whatever, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And I will see you another time. Happy stamping. Bye.